Hey guys, what is up? Zero here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Within. So, in the last episode, we finally have come to terms with Monika's death. We have finally accepted it for what it was after having a near-death experience from cutting just a little too hard deep into our arm. And meeting Monika's ghostly version of herself. I don't know what that was, but yeah, after meeting Ghost Monika, I guess. And then, by waking up in the hospital, we've come to accept her death. And now I think it's been a time skip. I think 6 months later is what it said. Yeah, this is 6 months later. Ah! Okay, so 6 months later. So, yeah, we're now in the epilogue, I think, now. So, I think there's only a bit of the mod left, but we'll have to see. Maybe we can finish it this episode. If not, then it'll definitely be finished next episode. But anyway, before we start, though, I do want to bring up something that it was kind of brought to my attention while I was editing the last part. So, that I didn't bring up. So, Monika, when we are talking to, once again has something to do with the whole Ghost Monika scene. I know I already said I wasn't a big fan of it. I already gave my entire thoughts on that, but there was something that was said there, and just something that also, that doesn't really make sense to me. So, in the ghost, when MC's talking to Monika's ghost, or just talking to Monika at that point, so she mentions how the reason why that she killed herself was because that she said that if she left to go live with MC, that she knew that her dad would find her eventually, and that she didn't want to bring him into these problems again. She said that her dad was going to find her eventually. That was her reasoning for not calling him, and getting him to help. That was the big reveal, I guess, answer. Because we never got that answer before. That was the big, oh, this is why she did it. This doesn't make any sense. Because if we go back to the scene when Monika's dad is telling Monika about that he signed her name, he gives her an ultimatum. He says either you go to this you either go to this college or we're done with you and you're on your own. Basically saying that she's free to leave. He doesn't care about her anymore is basically what he says. I don't know if I have a save file around that scene. I don't think I do, but I remember for the most part though, I think I can remember quite clearly that's what he says. He says something along the lines of if you don't go to that school, we're done with you. You're whatever. We're not supporting you anymore. You're done. You're gonna have to leave. So I'm like, he would let her go. That's fine. Literally, she chooses not to go, then just go live with MC. It doesn't make any sense. Her reasoning literally makes no sense. Thus making her suicide make even less sense. I just don't get it. It would make more sense if maybe he, threatened her, And he was like, and if you don't go, well, you don't want to know what happens, or something like that. I know that sounds like a really dumb line to say, and, wow, it just makes him sound like a really big evil dude, Zero. It's but that's what he is, basically, in this mod, He's the equivalent of Exit Music dad and fucking Fruits Notsky dad, He's just a big evil guy with no redeeming qualities. So I'm like, fucking, at least that would have made sense, though. He's literally saying, no, yeah, if you do that, we're not helping you anymore. And it's okay then, that's fine. He's letting her go. He's letting her leave. But her reason was he was gonna follow him. I don't think he was. He did not seem like he cared. Yeah, I don't know. It's that reasoning just does not make sense, and it just kind of ruins Monika's suicide even more. But yeah, I just want to get that out of the way because that was something I figured out when I was editing that part, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't even realize this. Yeah, I was waiting to kind of bring that up next time. But in any case, now we can continue. So let's proceed. So yeah, wasn't just the alarm line. So alarm blares. I groggily open my eyes. I sit up, stretch my arms, and yawn loudly as I turn off the damned noise. And then check my phone. 7:30 a.m. Pulling my sheets off, I get up from my bed and head straight for the bathroom. I step towards the mirror and stop to look at my face. Before I shower, I should probably shave. Gotta look presentable for the girls. I grab the electric razor from the drawer and get to work. Doesn't take me too long to finish up. After brushing off any remaining hairs, I get undressed and get ready to shower. As soon as the water is warmed up to my preferred temperature, I step in. Whilst the water soaks my skin, I think long and hard about today. It's a Saturday. In particular, it's the 20th of January. My 19th birthday. If you were able to go back to 6 months ago and tell me I would make it to 19, I probably would have called your bluff. But, in retrospect, I'm glad I carried on in spite of everything. There were times where it was difficult, and God only knows there will be many more times like that. There will be many more times like that. But I'm still here, and I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. Eventually, I stop the water and step out. After grabbing a towel, drying myself, and wrapping it around my waist, I head back to my room. Upon heading back to my room, I start to walk towards the closet. I already said that she was planning something special for me today with Natsuki and Yuri. Natsuki did seem pretty busy last night, so that checks out. That being said, I shouldn't really need to dress too fancy. I pull open the door and pull out a black shirt and some blue jeans. Is it generic? Obviously, yes. But, to some degree, I wouldn't have it any other way. After I pull all my clothes on and make sure my hair is presentable enough, I head downstairs. When I get downstairs, my ears pick up the faint yet ever distinct rustling of plastic carrier bags. Seems like someone's awake. Morning, Nat. It's still kinda weird that Natsuki's actually living here, but I suppose that after 3 months, you kinda get used to it. Okay, so I guess, yeah, okay, I guess after 6 months, like, I guess Natsuki's dad and her are just living here, alright. Again, what happened? Did we ever get, like, a reason as to why this is happening? Maybe I forgot, but I don't know if it was ever stated what happened to Natsuki's dad and her, like, house. Like, I'm assuming the reasoning is probably that Natsuki's dad and his mom are getting closer, so they want to try living together. But, like, weren't they only dating for, like, a short amount of time? Like, goddamn, they were trying that pretty early, huh? Like, 6 months later, it's fine, understandable. But, like, they were doing this crap before those 6 months. Like, damn, brother, that shit's going quick. But, I mean, I guess they are old. Gotta get it done. Morning. Energetic as ever. Although the can of store-brand energy drink on the counter might be the reason for her energy at this time. Speaking of which, how long have you been up? You're never up this early on weekends. She scowls slightly. Well, here comes yet another comment about my snoring. I mean, I think since 5:30. Like, I sorted out most of the food last night. All I had to do was pack everything and just finish a couple extra little bits. She certainly works fast. I mean, your snoring didn't help either. But that's a given. I roll my eyes with a smirk as Natsuki gives a cheeky giggle. It's all coming from a mile away, but I'll let her have this one. Given what Sayori mentioned, coupled with all the food that Natsuki has seemingly made, it doesn't take me too long to put 2 and 2 together. So, I'm guessing we're having a picnic? Yep. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's the middle of January, Nat. I'm gonna be freezing my nuts off. At least Sayori's impression of me doesn't sound as nasally as Natsuki's. Not to mention, it actually sounds like me. But it's meant to be pretty nice today. Plus, come on, it's your birthday. I grin at her like a damn idiot. She doesn't seem to mind, though. You want me to help pack or anything? Nah, you're good. Besides, with your history of packing bags, I'd rather not just to be on the safe side, you know? I sighed, despite her having a fair point. I was never the best at packing. After making myself a quick cup of coffee, I head to the living room. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. After all, like, that sad stuff we had to go through for that entire, like, act, this is nice, you know? It's a nice change of pace. Like, I do still stand that a lot of the, like, you know, MC getting over Monika scenes were really well written, and I felt those were really nice. Not nice, well written, I'll say that. Well, they weren't really nice, they were kind of depressing, but they were well written. I do kind of feel like it kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit, you know? Like, it definitely felt like there's a little too much sadness, you know? like, goddamn. You want something happy to be there, so I'm glad we're finally here. Took a bit. Pass the time, end up channel surfing for a good while. Unsurprisingly, there doesn't seem to be much on at this time. I eventually just end up setting on a channel showing nothing but game shows. The one currently on reeks of the late 80s. Who am I to call something out as being cheesy? This is inherently a bad thing, but still. A few minutes pass before Natsuki joins me in the room. Her eyes end up fixated on the plasma screen. Whether it's a show she's seen before, or she's merely confused as to what the hell I'm watching, seems to be undecided. The seemingly almost silence is then broken by both a small vibration and the chirp-like tone coming from Natsuki's phone. Not being a particularly nosy person, I don't ask who it is. However, she then taps my shoulder. It's Sayori. She's just going up to Yuri's. She shouldn't be too long. Given that I've never been over to Yuri's, I wouldn't have an exact idea as how long Sayori will actually be. More time passes. Eventually, there's a trail of quick knocks at the door. I go to get up and answer it, but Natsuki bolts off her seat and heads to do so instead. Yawning softly, I return my focus to the TV. It doesn't take me long to hear footsteps approaching the living room. I spot Sayori out of the corner of my eye and stand up, ready to greet her. With an excited smile on her face, she practically flies towards me and almost knocks me off my feet as she embraces me with a vice-like grip. God!
There's the birthday boy!
Morning, Sayo. I just forget how strong Sayori can be sometimes. As Sayori keeps squeezing me, I then hear a gentle giggle from across the room.
Calm down, Sayori. I'm sure Zero's happy to see you too.
Sayori releases me, allowing me to breathe once again.
Sorry, Zero. I guess I kinda got carried away there.
Don't worry, you're good. Air soon finds the way back into my lungs. Sayori flashes me a quick smile before being beckoned to the kitchen by Natsuki. Once Sayori's gone, only me and Yuri remain in the living room. It's been a little while since we've been alone together. Whilst we stood there, Yuri averts her gaze and smiles, looking off to the side a little. Hey. Been a while, hasn't it? My voice is more of a soft whisper. But a whisper I know that she can hear.
It has been, yes.
Yuri's voice is just as soft. How have you been? Like, how's your first semester been?
First semester's been alright. I'll admit, I did struggle at first, as many of the course's reading list was much more complex than what I've read in the past. But hey, I did opt for a psychology major.
Then pauses for a brief moment before smiling sheepishly.
Besides that, I've been doing better. I've had a lot more time to myself since I moved out. More time to think about how I am as a person. I know I've not been the easiest person. I am working to better myself, though.
I'm happy to hear that. Like, really, I am. Her eyes flick back to meet mine, and a small, admittedly adorable smile forms across her lips.
Promise?
I promise. Promise what? Wait, what? We're promising? What? Promise that he's happy to hear that? That's a little weird.
Do you promise that you're happy to hear that I'm improving?
Oh no! How did she know I was lying? I wanted her to not improve. I was preying upon your downfall, Yuri. Yuri smiles to herself, her cheeks being overcome with a slowly growing blush. Then hear footsteps coming towards the living room, this time accompanied by the sound of rustling plastic bags.
Alright, everyone ready to go?
There's a less than subtle tinge of excitement in Natsuki's voice. Not that I can exactly blame her, though.
I am!
Sayori beams in classic Sayori fashion.
I'd like to head off too.
Yuri's demeanor reverts to a more calm and collected one. That just leaves me. As happy as I am seeing everyone here together in what feels like forever, my mind still reminds me that the sight in front of me shall always remain incomplete. It's just there, staring me right in the face, almost like a jigsaw puzzle laying on a table with a single missing piece. And what's that piece for me? It's simple. It's Monika. I always pictured her being here with me. Hell, I still do to most days. While I have been slowly getting better, the memory of what happened still lingers within me. Sometimes it's like an itch that can't be scratched, but an itch I can cast away to the back of my mind. But other times, it just dominates my day. Before the memories can once again cement themselves in my mind, Natsuki approaches me and rests a hand on my shoulder.
Zero? You doing okay?
Natsuki's soft tone pulls me back to reality. And then look back to her and my two other friends. All three of them wear rather awkward expressions, as if they're wondering if they should say something. I quickly relieve their potential worries. Yeah, I'm fine. Let's get going. Four of us then leave the house on a rather somber note. Well, I guess I jinxed it. It is now not happy anymore. Aside from the brief bursts of small talk, the most part of the walk is accompanied by silence. I can't help but feel responsible for the current awkwardness. I could have sworn that I was starting to get better at coping with what happened to Monika, but I'm starting to call that progress into question. Eventually, a conversation starts to kick off between the girls, but I end up trailing along, borderline oblivious to everything going on around me. Feeling of a finger tapping my upper arm then suddenly yanks me back into reality. Huh?
Hey.
I look to my side and Sayori is there to greet me with a rather sweet smile. She speaks in a soft whisper.
You doing better?
I nod with a slight shrug. Yeah, I'm good. Yep, real convincing. The look on Sayori's face tells me everything she's thinking. The pair of us continue walking, that ever-present awkwardness still looming. As I look up, I notice that Natsuki and Yuri are engaged in conversation. I exhale gently and sigh quickly after. Sayori looks toward me with that same downcast look on her face. It's
Monika?
I nod silently. And everyone says that she's here with me in spirit. And I do believe that. But I still feel lost without her sometimes. You know? Sayori stops dead in her tracks and turns to face me directly. I stop too, turning to return her gaze.
Zero, no one's expecting you to just get over what happened just like that.
She clicks her fingers to emphasize that last part.
That's just unrealistic.
I sigh and look towards Natsuki and Yuri. They don't seem to have noticed the fact we stopped in the middle of the street. I'm surprised you still put up with me. I'm surprised any of you do.
Zero, you've got it all wrong. It's not putting up with you. It's being patient. Just like you were and still are with me.
Then steps closer to me, softly squeezing my hand in her own.
And we're still gonna be here for you. Regardless of anything.
And her smile rests upon her lips, and I smile back. The pair of us just stand there for a little bit. I'm glad she's still a part of my life. To some degree, I can't imagine life without her. An ever so slightly squeaky voice then breaks the silence.
Hey!
Sayori backs away, slightly flustered as an agitated gremlin approaches us. How long did it take you and Yuri to realize we weren't behind you?
I was gonna ask for directions. And when I turned around, neither of you were there!
Sayori lightly giggles at Natsuki's expense.
It's not funny! Yuri nearly started freaking out because she thought you ditched us! I wasn't, actually.
Natsuki chuckles mischievously after Yuri's seeming rebuttal. I smile, gently laughing and rolling my eyes as I do. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, on we go. After retracing Natsuki and Yuri's steps, the four of us continue walking down. That was a nice little scene with Sayori. Though, again, it did kind of remind me where she's like, none of us are expecting to just get over it. And I'm like, once again, it reminded me how much the other girls have seemed to get over Monika's death. Again, that is one of my gripes with this. Like, one of my gripes is that the girls seem slightly unaffected to this. Only MC seems very affected about Monika's death. Like, they were affected, and I feel like if it was more apparent that they were just trying to put on a good face, like, a brave face for him, then I think it would be better. But it really feels like a lot of them just are over it, and they're just waiting for him to be fine with it, which doesn't make sense to me, considering all of these girls knew Monika way longer than he has. Especially considering this mod uses the side stories as canon, so they all knew Monika very well, if anything. Like, it's not even like in the sense where they could potentially have a thing where they were all never that close with her, you know, and they could maybe have that as the explanation. This uses the side stories, which means they all got pretty close. So it does feel odd, once again, that they're all over it, but he's still not. Like, it's a little weird. Especially someone like Sayori, again, who brings up her depression and reminds us that she has it in this mod, because the mod doesn't really seem to dote on it at all. After what feels like longer than usual, we finally reach the park. But yeah, the scene, that was still a nice scene, regardless of, you know, the previous issues I've had with the mod. Whilst there's still a gentle breeze in the air, there's also a light warmth. We all walk towards a section of the park where there's one of those picnic tables you typically see at parks. As we each take a seat, Natsuki places her bags onto the wooden surface and starts unpacking the fruits of her labor. Like a burp freaking like attacked me. Which might be devoured in a matter of minutes, especially if Sayori gets her hands on it.
Ooh! Yeah, I know, it's a lot. Just try and take it easy, okay?
As Natsuki continues to unpack, the remaining three of us simply wait in anticipation. Soon enough, the entirety of our small feast is unveiled. Both Sayori and Yuri's eyes light up. And I'm grinning at Natsuki like an idiot.
What is it, dummy?
You know, you didn't have to do all this.
Well, I wanted to, so deal with it.
Natsuki flashes me her signature wide grin, coupled with her typical sass. Just over half a year ago, Natsuki's sass would have probably ended up getting on my nerves. If anything, that's honestly endearing. Sure, she can still be a pain in the ass, but she's a lovable pain in the ass.
Come on, what are you all waiting for? Let's eat!
With a gleam in our eyes, we start to eat. There's a vast selection of food available, ranging from simple sandwiches to delightfully fluffy onigiri to a collection of cookies and biscuits baked by Natsuki herself. All of it tastes bloody brilliant. Thank you, UK. And judging by the looks won both Yuri and Sayori's faces, I'm not the only one who thinks so. After some, we eat some more. I break the near silence. So, I kinda asked Yuri about this, but how's uni been for everyone? Sayori's the first to answer.
It's going better than I thought it would. There's still some times where it gets a little... What's the word I'm looking for?
Daunting?
Yeah, that's it. But I'm getting a lot of help from my tutor and some of the new friends I made. And what about that Rio guy I keep seeing you with? Is he helping you?
Sayori sinks into herself with a sly smile hidden beneath the scarlet veil. Whoever this Rio is, it seems Sayori's taken a slight fancy to him. Oh? That being said, I am certainly curious.
Yeah, he helps me when he can. He's even saved my butt a couple of times.
And the same shy smile returns to her face. Natsuki then turns to me, a fox shock plastered on her face.
Oh my god, Zero! You've been replaced!
She bursts into a fit of hearty laughter.
No, it's not like that! Rio's nice and all, but he couldn't replace you, Zero.
Some of the scarlet haze from Sayori's face transfers to mine as I sheepishly smile. You're too kind, Sayori. But if you want to spend more time with your boyfriend, I can't really stop you. I chuckle a little how defensive she's being about not replacing me.
He's not my boyfriend!
Well, there's certainly something going on between you two.
You're by his side every other day.
She smirks as Sayori scowls at the pair of us. But Natsuki persists.
Oh, come on.
There's gotta be something you like about him. Nat's got her trapped now.
Well, he's nice, and smart, and very considerate. Quite handsome, too.
What was that last part? Heard her clearly, but again, it is fun to tease her.
I said he's handsome. What are you making me say?
Both me and Natsuki burst into laughter, but soon enough, we're joined by Yuri and her soft giggle.
Oh my, I don't think I've ever seen Sayori this embarrassed before.
Stop it!
We eventually halt our teasing, still laughing a little, and then turn my attention to Natsuki. What about you, Nat? How's everything going for you?
Oh, it's going great. Just great.
You sound like you hate it.
Well, hate would be a bit of a strong word. I mean, it's a pain in the fucking ass, but it could be worse.
I look to my right and see Yuri shaking her head, but still smirking. Well, let me guess. Because you're a pro?
At last, you finally admit it. That being said, I honestly can't stand most of the staff there. Especially some of the catering lot. They get so full of themselves.
Okay. Anything that doesn't get you all riled up?
Now that you mention it, yeah. I've met some really awesome people. Like, there's this one person I met called Asuka, and we get on great. And the best part is we all share all the same classes.
Says that would last with a sweet, almost sing-song tone. Once more, I can't help but crack a smile. That's great to hear, Nat.
My, I wish I had this much time to get to know people. To be truthful, I'm a tad bit envious.
Aw, don't be jealous, Yuri. I'm sure you'll find someone eventually.
Zero's right, you know? You may still find some nice, slightly broody guy who'll read Stephen King with you.
Also, I appreciate the sentiment. I'm not in any hurry for a relationship. I know I said that I wish I had more time to connect with people. Don't get me wrong, I still do. But I'm certainly more content with the wonderful friends I already have.
Yuri's words and radiant smile sends warmth towards the rest of us. Sayori looking up with a smile full of rice. Time passes, and eventually, the feast Natsuki had made is reduced to a mess of leftovers, scraps, and an interminable amount of crumbs. Not that any of us are complaining. We all enjoyed it. Especially Sayori. More discussion about the girls' time in university ensues, resulting in some more bits of teasing over Sayori's fondness for the ever-enigmatic Rio. How come Sayori's taking the blunt of this when Natsuki said that she found some guy named Asuka, huh? Why is everyone ganging up on Sayori? Of course, I'm eventually brought into the conversation. It's only natural, of course, especially as I didn't end up going to uni last year. After everything that happened, I wanted to better my mental state before even contemplating going back to education. Again, whilst there are brief moments where I experience mild relapses, I am getting better. But the so-called gap year has to come to a close at some point. Yeah, I'll be sending in my application this summer, and fingers crossed, I'll be enrolled at HU for September.
I'm glad. Honestly, it's been a little weird without you there.
I scratched the back of my neck. I can imagine.
I don't mean to pry, but how have the past months been since we last saw each other? I can't imagine it's been easy.
I think to myself for a little bit. I don't particularly want to bring the mood down, but it would be a bit disingenuous to ignore Yuri's question. I could be a bit brief about it. Well, it's not been the easiest. But I am getting better at managing everything.
That's terrific news.
I know there'll be times where it does get harder to forget what happened. But in my heart, I know Monika would want me to keep fighting on. In a way, I think of it like she didn't stop existing when she passed on. I think of it like her spirit's still watching over us, you know? He says he thinks of it. Don't you mean you know it because you talked to her? We were able to somehow speak to her. It's not even no, guys, this is just a theory I have. This ain't a theory anymore. That happened. We had a whole ass conversation with her. Sorry if that sounds like overly cheesy or something like that.
I wouldn't exactly call your thoughts cheesy. If anything, I would say it's quite a spiritualistic way of thinking. And I can imagine it brings you a great degree of comfort. Yes?
I nod as I find myself smiling once more. It honestly does. Yeah. Speaking of Monika... Huh? Natsuki looks towards Yuri, who simply nods and goes to Sayori. I give Natsuki a rather confused look. What's going on here? You might want to close your eyes for this. All three of us worked pretty hard on it. Consider my curiosity piqued. I nod at Natsuki, and she walks out of sight. I'm tempted to try to sneak peek as to what they've prepared. But that would just be rude. Eventually, I just close my eyes. After overhearing a short burst of whispers by the trio, I hear footsteps approach me. Arms out! I can comply with Natsuki's request, raising my arms up. Barely a few seconds later, I feel a sort of fabric brush against my fingertips. Is that velvet? I firmly grip the object in my hands. Can I open my eyes yet? Hang on a sec! More hurried whispers ensue for a short moment. Okay! You can open them now. I exhale through parted lips before opening my eyes. I'm immediately met by the sight of three of my closest friends giving me bright, earnest smiles. Sayori's eyes then flicker down towards my hands, as if they're guiding me where to look. Naturally, I follow the direction and then freeze in place at the sight they land on. My eyes are met with the sight of a light green, velvet-bounded book. The edges of the cover are lined with a shiny gold border. Finish it off, there's a text in the center that is embossed with the same material as the border. It reads, "Forever in my heart, Monika Harai." I find myself fixated to the book, but I briefly look up to the girls in a mix of awe and disbelief. Go on, open it! I return to their book and I follow Sayori's instruction. Upon opening it, my vision is filled with a myriad of photos of Monika at various points in her life, almost like a timeline. I silently go through all the pages, going from her early years to what I presume are her early teens to even her 18th birthday. Obviously, I've been able to see her face since I last saw her through the photos I took of us when she was still here. But there's something different about it this time. Maybe it's because of how much time has passed. Maybe it could be because of the history these pictures hold. Or maybe something else I can't explain. Whatever it is, it just feels different. So when I get to the last couple of pages, I feel my chest tighten. The next few pages and the next are plastered with photos of Monika and me. Something I remember her posting online, and even some I've not seen before. There's even the photo strip we took that time we went to the carnival. I feel tears starting to well up in my eyes. But they're not tears of sadness. They're tears of joy. I then turn to the next page. As soon as my eyes meet that last picture, everything comes flooding back. It's one of the first pictures that we ever had taken together, mostly thanks to Sayori. The three of us were walking together, and Moni asked Sayori if she could take some pictures of us. This was always one of her favorites. I soon close the book just as I end up staining the pages. I keep it close to my chest as I look back up at the girls. Thank you. Thank you all so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Monika's mom helped a lot with this. As soon as we told her what we had in mind, she loved it. She even put a bit of money towards getting it all sorted.
Harumi. I'll call her when I get back home. I turn and rest the book on the table before starting to walk towards the girls. She then gives me a slightly perplexed look. And then outstretch my arms and crack a smile, my eyes still damp. Sayori instantly knows what I'm getting at. She practically rushes to embrace me, shortly followed by Natsuki. And finally, Yuri joins us. I try to embrace all three of them, but my arms barely reach around Yuri and Natsuki. Luckily for me, the three of them stay close, practically enveloping me. Yuri's grip is the tightest, that she was the first to embrace me. Both Yuri and Not have one arm around me and another around Sayori. Any sign of tension within me that still lingered from this morning has completely evaporated. I feel like I can let myself be vulnerable. It's something I've slowly been learning to do again. I can't keep bottling everything up. I remember where that road led to, and I'll be damned if I let myself go down that path again. As Monika said to me, I've got people here for me. People that care deeply about me. I may not fully get over what happened all those months ago, but the best I can do is what I've been doing already. I'll press on. For them. For my family. For my own sake. And most importantly, for Monika. Is that it? What? Huh? Wait, what? Huh? Wait, there's more? But that was like, that's where you... What? So hold up. I am actually opening the files. I am actually... Hold up. How long is it? There's an entire day? Oh my gosh. It's like 600 lines. I have to save this for another episode. Why didn't it just end here? This is like the perfect time to end it. Oh my lord. That was like the perfect ending point. Also, this is the epilogue? Was that not the epilogue before? God damn it. Oh my gosh. Alright. Okay. There's definitely another problem I slightly have, is that this mod definitely kind of stretches things out a bit too much. It was kind of the problem I had with the third act, where MC is trying to get over Monika. I felt like that one kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit too. And this one is definitely overstaying its welcome. Like, it should have ended right there. That should have been the roll credit scene, you know? Like, that was it. That was that was the final thing. Like, really? Like, yeah, sure, I guess it seems like he's, final assignment of the semester. It seems like, it seems like he's like, entering uni and stuff. That's cool, but like, I don't need to see that. Oh, anyway, whatever. Like, let me just talk about the previous scene. That was a nice scene. That was actually really cute. I like the little book that they made of like all the pictures and stuff. That was actually really nice. I thought that was cute. That was really lovely. I thought it was really nice that they made something for him in order to kind of, again, it's something to probably also help him finally get over it, because like they said, he had tears of joy, it's something, the final thing to really help him fully get over Monika's, maybe Monika's death. Maybe that's to help him finally, like, get past the hurdle. Even though he's been doing pretty well anyway, obviously. It's not something you're going to be able to get over entirely, but, it's like, it was still really nice. It was a really nice moment there. But I will say, it does kind of get soured when that's not how the mod ends. Like, I really feel like this kind of does make this next day, which, don't worry, I'm confirming is the final day, mind you. This is definitely the final day. Looking at the code, because there's no other chapter thing. I don't know how it ends, though. I was just looking to see how long it is. But, it definitely does kind of put some pressure on this final day to see if this can end better than the last one, than the day before. Because I feel like the day before was perfect. Like, I feel like that was the perfect time to end it. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could have easily ended it there or something. But yeah. In any case, that was a nice scene. I really enjoyed it. As much as it's like, come on, Zero, just go through one more. It's like, I don't. This next day seems like it is literally as long as the day we just got through. Like, it's literally, they're almost the exact same amount of lines. So I have to save this for another part. So I guess Within is going for another part, boys. Don't worry, the next part is guaranteed to be the final part. So, but it's a lot of pressure. See if it can end it better than that, than the last day. Because I feel like the last day was a perfect ending point right there. That was a nice, clean ending point. It was perfect right there. But all right, whatever. Well, I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to download this mod for yourself, the link's in the description below. This has been Zero. Peace.